hour.
Just a few minutes after 9. Not too bad.
It's 10:11.
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Not me tube. That was a
It
movement.
never shows me. It's supposed to. Oh,
Like
there we go.
show you that we've started, or
Yeah, there we go.
oh, okay.
We gotta change that panda.
Mhm.
Something like.
Yeah.
We need a panda with a Daredevil helmet on as our new logo.
Put my
That would be
phone
good.
on
And-
That would be
silent.
good.
He's got the panda ears, but he also
Mhm.
has the Daredevil horns.
Yeah. For sure.
Like everything sticking up off of his noggin.
Mm-hmm. It's a 4-way stick-up situation.
Call that a
Silence.
panda standoff.
Oh man. What's up, TV movie guy? What's up, Robert? What's up, David? Greg? What's going on, guys? When I was
I've
a
done-
boy.
I've done that line so many times that when he said it
I
in this
know.
episode,
I know.
I fell out. I was like, no, wait.
I know.
I'm not supposed to laugh.
We'll save it for I know, right? Like I really
Serious.
there were a couple moments I laughed because of the connections that weren't necessarily supposed to be funny.
Yep.
Oh man, it's so good. This is a really good episode. Let's save it for the cast because I do want to talk about it.
Wait. I hit something and I don't know what it was.
What did you do, Ashley? What did you do?
Well, it's like
Actually,
the cancel
what-
button. Whatever
what
I
did you
hit,
do?
there's cancel and create, and the
Listen.
cancel button is blocked out, so I can't hit cancel. And
Listen,
I'm like, well, I don't want to hit.
I'll
cancel.
forgive you
You
this
can't
time.
cancel.
Oh, wait,
you
wait,
have
wait,
to
wait, okay.
create.
Test 1, 2, 3. Test
I'll
1, 2,
forgive you this time, but if this happens again,
3. There we go.
I'll show you what happened when I was a boy.
all right. Y'all ready? Y'all ready to talk
Yeah.
about?
Y'all ready for this? I
I
knew it.
So we'll try to. It depends on how long we're going. If we go like 20, 25 minutes, and it seems like we've got a lot to say still, we haven't turned to the chat or anything. We'll take a break. It's always if we're doing like more than 45 minutes, I like to take a break. If we're not, I don't. So it's always this weird like decision whether to take a break or not.
Okay.
Take a break.
It seems mean to do like a 30-minute episode and have a break in the middle. That just seems
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes you got to
Listen,
go
we gotta
upstate.
eat too.
Yeah. There's another line in this episode that reminded me of Hamilton.
Oh,
I'll talk about it when we get there.
save it for the
Save it for the
cast of Hamilton.
All right, I'm hitting hitting record on Zencastr, so don't forget. Then hitting record on Audacity Equivalent.
Recording.
Record. Check. Good
Nice.
waves.
Good waves. We're going.
Good
we're moving.
waves.
We're moving. Here we go. Welcome
Here
in
we
everybody on
go.
YouTube. If you don't mind, hit that like button or share it with somebody. That we're live. We love getting more
Also
people in here.
subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe
uh,
and like button and all those things.
Put the bell on so that you get notifications when we go live or something. I don't know, man.
Listen, subscribe. Go to the Patreon. Mabel needs kibble. Mabel needs kibble.
We
got
can't feed
starving
Mabel.
dogs out here.
So many dogs to feed.
In the arms of the patrons.
All right.
We're making a song about every episode, right?
Yeah, that's the one for this week. That's another episode of, dude, yeah, we'll talk about it on the show, but yeah, well, let's just move. That's going to
Okay,
be an
sorry.
this show may have been a bad one to choose. I'm enjoying writing songs about them, but man, they're all going to be so freaking heavy.
Yep.
I thought we'd have some fun episodes, but they've all been so fucking heavy so far.
Hashtag sad.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Let's do it.
1, 2, 8, 7.
We don't need to
Four?
because we got the recording.
Oh, right.
on,
Because
Zencastr.
you're linking, syncing.
linking and sinking.
Yep. Today on the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast, we are discussing Daredevil Born Again, Season 1, Episode 4, Sic Semper Systema. All that and more right after this. When I was a boy.
All that and more when I was a boy. All right.
When inspiration hits, you know.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. My name is Matthew Carroll.
And I'm Jeff Randall.
And I'm Ashley Coffin.
Hey friends, we just watched episode
Jam
4 of
session!
Daredevil.
We're all together.
Yeah, all
Finally!
together. Excited. Jeff, you've had a busy couple weeks. We've missed you.
Yeah, I still have work to do whenever we finish this. I gotta turn around and make a deployment back there.
Oh
But-
man. Oh no.
Had to take some time. Had to
Yeah.
take some time because, was at home, got to
Mhm.
watch the show and talk about it finally.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you haven't been on in a little while. Well, let's dive into this week's, and then we'll see. Is there any other? I guess any general thoughts you've had about the last few episodes? What are you feeling?
Oh man, like up to and including this episode, I feel like this series, despite being named after a character who dresses entirely in red, is giving me really blue balls. Like they're getting
Do you mean in the sexual sense, or like like you're blue?
Yes. So they're getting really close.
I thought you were going to say the show was making you blue, like sad, but no, you went with blue balls, and I respect it.
They took my boy Hector. They took my boy Hector from
Yeah.
me too soon.
Way too soon.
Too soon.
And Foggy way
And
too
then
soon.
Foggy, like, right out of the gate. How
Mhm.
dare you? Karen left. How dare you? Like, this show just doesn't want me to be happy. And then they're like, oh, here's Fisk. He might be Fisk that you know. He might also be turning over a new leaf. But then, like, now? Are we sure? Are we sure
Yeah.
now?
I know. My notes are chaotic because I was like, Echo did this. I knew it. I knew he was changed. I was like, God damn it. Got me too.
Scribble it out.
Scribble it out.
Who's Adam? That's Adam.
That's a really dark.
Oof.
The ending with Adam is really dark because Fisk has had us all a little convinced that he might have changed with the Echo. The Echo thing, I love it as someone who's following everything, that we have this weird offshoot show Echo that like gave us this weird reason to think that to trust him. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way
Yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
given him any trust at all. I would have just been like, "Where's the poop or whatever?" Like, what did you do?
Yeah, what
did you
ploy
do?
is
Fisk?
he running?
Yeah, but then the Echo thing made it plausible, and now, of course, it's back to Fisk and I guess doing his old tricks, but really just like torturing a man who had an affair with his lady.
Well, they messed with us because when they were going down there, I thought it was going to be the guy who ratted out, like who let the story get out. And I was like,
yeah.
oh no, he had him.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, who's this Rob Zombie looking guy? Oh, it's Adam. But him like letting that guy go was, or like letting him off the hook was not something we're used to seeing. But he did threaten to kill him right in front of his like
Yeah,
In front of
boss.
Sheila.
yeah.
Sheila. And I looked at Sheila. I was like, Sheila,
Sheila,
did you
blow the
pick him up?
whistle
He
on
said he was
this.
gonna kill him. He said he was gonna kill him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, girl.
Sheila, blow the whistle on this. You heard those words. You know what that means.
Listen, Sheila's a long-term political actor. She's heard worse.
Yeah.
Let's face it. This isn't her first
She's like this.
dance
This
with the
is
devil.
fine.
No, I the whole letting young Gandolfini off the hook. I forget his name in the show. Anybody?
Daniel.
Young
Daniel.
Gandolfini is fine with
Daniel Blake.
Okay, letting Daniel off the hook seems like a kind act, but I think it's really because Daniel pledged his fealty. He pledged his loyalty.
He bent the knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not about you screwed up and don't do it again, but like he's one of Fisk's most loyal soldiers, and like he's the guy Fisk needs in that position, and I think that Fisk would make good on the threat to kill him if he needed to, but I think he really he sees the value in that kid.
Yeah. I think he sees the value in Daniel, and especially like the fact that Daniel is so young and like as devoted to him as Daniel is, like he sees what he can mold Daniel into being.
He says, "You will be a great man or a good man one day," or whatever he says. Something
with
like-
time.
with time,
With
you
time,
will
you'll
be a good man. Yeah.
And he's just like,
This
I'm gonna-
episode,
I'm gonna sculpt this.
Yeah, well, he had his hidden life underground. Up top, he's on his, little egg white diet with asparagus, and down below he's eating
With one
pasta
sprig of
carbonara,
asparagus.
you know, or whatever.
Yeah,
and sausage.
4 sausages in this giant platter. Like, sir, that's a family platter. You should be sharing that.
That was so much sausage. I literally have it written in my notes. So much sausage.
You don't
I
have to
was-
say that every day,
I was so jealous.
right?
I was
Oh,
like,
it looked
man, I'm
delicious.
hungry.
I
God.
don't know, man.
I
that
mean,
much
not saying
sausage.
his omelets don't look great, but
Yeah. Oh, it all looks good. But yeah, that's a really good point. I love that,
So
Ash. That's a
hungry.
really good observation. The fact that like up top he's eating these like very healthy diets, but down below that's really good. I like that.
You know, keeping your food secret like that is, that's a classic symptom of
yeah.
Overeaters Anonymous behavior. I
my
don't know.
Oreos under the bed.
That's
Yeah, exactly. It's a
Those
shame
are none of
eating.
your goddamn business, okay? You know?
It's definitely not a good
What's
sign.
this, Ashley? None of your
None of your
business what that is. You put those back.
It's definitely not a good sign for a relationship to be hiding things, food or otherwise, like this. So, Vanessa has always been someone we've seen him just tell the truth to. When he killed all the Russians, he like told her the truth about his life, and
Yeah.
now that seems to be broken. Now that trust is broken.
Yep.
She kind of did it back though. I saw some growth in this episode because she did. She was like, "So the therapist was a little worried that you were gonna kill me." Isn't that crazy? Are you?
Yeah.
You know,
Are
but
you?
she at least told
Should
him.
I be worried?
Should I be
Yeah,
worried?
should I? And that is a very genuine question because I would be a little worried too. But when asked about Adam, both of them said like he's not there at the same time. So I'm not sure that she doesn't know that he has him or that he's dead. They're like, he's
Yeah.
gone. Very insane.
He left.
Well, he
We were
did.
like,
haven't
oh,
seen
Adam
him.
is DEA dead.
Well, in the
But
previous
apparently
episode,
not.
she said, "Don't kill him," and he said, "I won't. I'm not that man anymore." And technically, he lived up to that promise so far.
Yeah, he's
like,
just got him in a little cage.
yeah, he, didn't
hasn't
kill
killed him.
I know.
I told Vanessa I wouldn't kill you,
Yeah,
but she didn't make me promise not to imprison you forever.
And make you watch me eat delicious pasta.
oh. And it's been
I got this from the Olive Garden. But we're not family, Adam.
No breadsticks for you.
when you're here, you're not family. You're not family. Yeah, man. I love all the Fisk stuff in this episode. I love the two choirs got me so hard. I loved it so
I
It
was
was
much.
so
better with
funny.
these kids than I would, but when he was like, no, not another one. I get it. You did really great. I was like, thank God. Thank
Yeah.
God. But then
Yeah.
the other places sing the same song. So
I
was
know
like,
the
okay.
what was it?
The Latvian version.
The Latvian version.
Heritage Day.
Yeah, Latvian Heritage. They did the Latvian version is so funny. Like it is so funny. It's such a like his face falling, but like trying to maintain composure is just so good.
Be in the mayor's socks.
Yeah.
You know,
Kiss
when
babies.
when he stood up and was clapping and then was just like, no, I gotta go. First thing I thought was Ashley is gonna love this scene.
Yeah, no, he was doing a much better job than I could have. I wouldn't have been able to hold myself together. Like, you guys had time to practice. Why can't we just be on the same key? But that's just the musician in me being like, no.
Yeah,
Mhm.
of course.
Oh yeah,
I get it.
That's a children's choir. You're not
Build
gonna.
this city. That's all we can say without getting sued. Be careful.
Yeah, that's it.
Copyright strike.
I loved it so much.
My worst nightmare.
I
And
loved
the-
seeing Rabbit in a
in that
snowstorm down in
scene.
that basement too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
with the blood spatter.
Yeah. Oh man.
it.
Such good continuity. I love it so much.
Yeah.
And I love that he left it there. It feels like this little layer is like,
It's his man cave.
well, yeah, it's his man cave, but it's like his kingpin cave. You know, it's the
Yeah.
place he goes to still exercise that old demon. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But not exercise.
Yeah, like exercise as in
Oh, different
pump iron.
spelling.
Yeah, different
Different spelling,
of exercise.
Where are you
That's
going,
exactly
Wilson?
what I had in my notes about Frank.
I'm going out
What's
for
the
a midnight
exorcisms going
snack.
on?
I didn't realize I was doing like a homophone thing there, but yes, I was.
Yep.
Okay,
It
yeah.
sounds the same.
We we have not talked about Frank yet, and that is, I feel like
Oh my
that's the
God.
core of this episode.
Yeah.
That is such a great scene for pushing Matt forward, and like I cannot wait to rewatch that and talk about it because it is intense.
Speaking of exorcisms, I was like, that's right, Frank. You just exorcise that right out of him. You cry, Matt. You have a good cry. Sometimes it feels really good. Let it out. Say his name.
Yep. Say his name. God. Oh, that killed
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's not about him. Say his name then.
Well, you were
Say his name. Come on, bitch.
You were talking about that on a previous episode, Ash, how he's been bottling that up, and that was like Frank being that, no pun intended, very frank friend, and telling him exactly what he needed to hear, which is like, yeah, you're foggy. You need to let it out. You need to let that pain out. When he hit Punisher in the face, I just loved it so much. And he's like, I apologize.
Yes.
Apologize. He's like, for what? That's the first honest thing you've done.
You're like, Fisk has a Kingpin cave. This is his Punisher cave. We hit in the face down here. It's not rude here.
Yeah, this is a place where it's fine. This is a safe face space.
We've been saying that we thought them using the Punisher symbol would bring him out, but I was very disheartened to know that he knows it's going on and is just hiding in this basement. What are you doing, Frank?
He's plotting his next kill. Or something.
Taking some time.
Yeah.
He's taking some Frank time.
Yeah, it's
Did
interesting.
you see that giant scar on his neck?
No, I didn't.
Like he had a gigantic scar on his neck.
I was
that
just
looked
looking
like
at his mouth. Sorry.
Yeah, fair. It looked like he had been gouged in the neck, and then like I think his face was busted up too. Like he has recently seen some altercation.
I need to rewatch season 2 of Daredevil, but like, when did Frank learn that Matt was Daredevil? I didn't think he had.
I thought he pulled his mask off when they were on the roof or something.
No,
Like, there was
he
the point-
specifically doesn't on the
Didn't
roof.
he go to him when he was in prison? And
I
he
don't
was
know.
his lawyer.
He was his
That's
lawyer?
how he figured it out.
He was his lawyer, and he was Red, but like I don't think Punisher ever found that out. Now he could have figured it out since then. There's been years in between, but yeah, it was weird when he just started calling him Red. I was like, wait, because he came down there, he started talking to him. He's like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "I have this client, blah blah." And I was like, "Oh, he's just being Matt Murdock talking to Frank Castle right now." But then he started calling him Red, and I was like, "Oh, I don't remember." I may be wrong though. I just don't.
I thought that they did.
Okay, it's very possible, but I don't remember it.
The thought that I've been having this whole season is, does everyone know that Matt Murdock is Daredevil?
No,
because like Cherry found him up on the rooftop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but just
Cherry
Cherry, who is his friend and came to work for him as like a secret.
Well, and the cop knows.
police agent.
It's a good idea that there's something going on.
Right.
With that
Well, yeah,
asshole
but
cop.
he doesn't know. He doesn't know he's Daredevil. He just knows he can fight. Which, like, yeah. Do people don't even really know that Daredevil's blind? I don't think so. It's like, there's no reason to connect him to it necessarily.
It's just that like I felt like that was one of those moments that
I'm
would
gonna
have
to Google it.
yeah that
I'm
was one
sorry,
of those
lady
moments
Google's
that would have been
gone.
like it's it's out in the open now, or he has to stop because like registration or something, like some sort of something happened, because like I've done a bit more reading up on Hector this past week, and in the series where Hector was there, like before he got killed, he was a client of Matt's, and it had come out around that time that Matt Murdock was Daredevil. So like, I'm kind of like, I have that knowledge, and I'm like applying that to here. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't,
no.
is that bleeding over?
Yeah, no, they never. He definitely never came out. Like, one of the things that season 3 ended with was him screaming at Fisk and saying, like, if you ever tell anyone my secret, because Fisk was saying he was going to tell everyone, and he said, if you ever tell anyone my secret, I'm going to come after Vanessa. So he let Vanessa stay out of prison to keep his secret a secret. So at that point,
Google says that it's episode 8, season 2, Guilty as Sin. There's a moment that Frank Castle realizes that Matt is Daredevil.
Okay.
and
I didn't
it
get
kinda
that far.
goes from
On my
there.
rewatch, I got to like season 2, episode 6, I think, 5 or 6. So I have not gotten there. TJ Stafford in the chat says at the end of season 2, Matt was fighting the hand without his mask on the
He
rooftop,
cuts Nobu's head off.
and Frank was sniping from a distance. I remember the scene where Frank is sniping from a distance, but I did not remember he didn't have his mask on. So I guess he does now in the old show. I just didn't remember that.
Sure. I don't
So
remember
it's
that either.
definitely the police who are doing the Punisher stuff.
Yes. Well,
yeah.
we know they're doing some of the Punisher stuff for sure. We've known that all along because they're all the tattoos. But the cop that was most suspect who attacked Daredevil did not kill Hector. He said he knows
Yeah, he
nothing
passed
about
the-
it, and he passed the
Yeah,
Daredevil
passed the
lie
test.
detector to test. Their Daredevil lie detector test. Fuck.
You got it.
The Daredevil lie detector test.
The devil got in his details, and
Mhm.
it turned out okay.
Mhm.
Or
That was fun when he found the little
not
bullet
guilty.
shell that has the Punisher.
oh yeah, the little casing.
logo.
Yeah, I thought it was
They're
weird.
really going into detail.
Some of the things. How did Matt know that logo was on there? I mean, I guess maybe he felt the paint and could
He
feel
felt
the
it, yeah.
logo. Yeah, it just
Where
feels
it's
a little-
etched.
He might have just poured some water on it. Isn't that how he can like see things? According to the Ben
That's a-
Affleck
that's a
one.
wrong
No, that
Daredevil.
was
That's the
that
kinda
was
like
Ben
rain.
Affleck.
Yeah,
Hey.
wrong Daredevil.
I'm not putting restrictions on the powers.
Yeah,
He's got
yeah, yeah,
it's bullet casing on fire. I think is the
yeah.
because the world on
exactly.
fire is how he sees.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought that was a little weird. Like it seemed like that could have been like 2 scenes. Like I don't know, like later. Like I guess maybe go to Cherry or something. Who knows about everything? I loved the moment because we haven't seen it much this season. I always love the transition moments from Matt Murdock to Daredevil, and the moment where he goes down into that parking garage on the way. It's some sort of parking structure, and he's descends these stairs into a basement, and then he's like being very blind guy, and then suddenly he leaps over that little yellow like barrier, and it just like he just becomes Daredevil in that moment. I love that
It's
stuff.
just like, yeah, nobody's watching. Let's go.
Yeah.
I love that. My favorite thing is about Frank and Matt, like how they just love each other and love talking to each other so much. They're like, fine, bye. But you know what? Just one more thing. And they can't, like, he must have turned to walk out of the room at least 3 or 4 times and then just
He
kept
did.
turning around. He's like, oh, la-di-da. Just going right back at him. I was like, oh, you two.
Yeah.
I swear I thought that Matt was gonna like just like break down and cry like on his shoulder and he's like, let it out, Red. Let it out. You gotta feel those feelings, Red.
No, you're Catholic. You push it down. You just put it in a box and you push that Catholic guilt down.
Yeah, but you
Never let it
get
out.
that
He'll get there. We're not
Punisher.
there yet.
You get Frank pushing that out of you, and then like him like giving you that big man hug with like one
Oh
arm, and
my
be like,
God.
there you
Yes,
go,
please.
come on, let it out,
You
Red.
gotta
Yeah.
feel those feelings, Red.
I'm
I
trying
feel
to.
my feelings. And I let them feel my feelings too.
He can feel my feelings. I'll cry. if he wants me to.
Oh man. Okay.
Boo.
Best line.
That tousled hairstyle though, right?
Looking great with the beard. Oh my God. But what's he been doing this whole time? Just I don't know. I got a lot of questions about what Frank's been doing.
So many questions.
Well, it's been years. He could have gone through all kinds of things. He clearly is still operating. Got all those guns down there, and there's a wall that is like he's doing the red string thing. Like
Yeah.
he's got his Pepe Silva
Oh
wall.
my
yeah.
God.
He's got the murder wall up there. So I
Clear
think there's
dance.
something. There's some case on his mind that he's searching out.
Speaking of case, we got our first images of Muse.
Yes.
I'm so excited. And I really hope we're going like 7. Like, go there.
Go all
You
the
had
way
that
with it.
13-year-old saying the F word. Let's do these disgusting crime scenes.
I feel like they're going to. They already had like multiple victims that looked like strung up above him, maybe like where he'd been like draining blood out, and then there's like he started drawing that other guy's blood out. Oh gosh, it's
Yeah, like not to
rough.
be gross, but I'm quite the gore queen, and I'm like, please mix everything I love together in one thing. Let's go.
Put it
People
all
get
in.
upset. Yeah.
You know what I freaking loved was the conversation with this new lawyer character, this I guess district attorney or ADA or something, who was in the case. That was a really fun scene. They've got chemistry and like the back and
love the
forth.
lawyer.
Oh yeah,
Who doesn't have chemistry with Matt? Honestly.
Everybody has
That's-
chemistry with Matt.
every single person, even the guy that he was defending, like the guy who stole the caramel corn.
Oh,
Like,
dude,
Oh my god.
that scene was intense.
They had it.
that
They
scene
really went
that scene was so
there.
intense.
Like
they-
it's the whole new American life, like the dissolving of the lower to middle class, like
Mhm.
and he's right, like spend 5 more times or lock him up and then it costs 5 more times to lock
Lock him up
it
than
costs-
feed him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
5 times
And-
more.
Thank you. It's just ridiculous. And he should thank him. Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I have to thank
Get that
you
out.
for. Oh, and it's only 10 days though.
Yeah.
But that's long enough for like literally any job to
would
be like,
fall
don't come
apart.
back.
It jail like are you kidding me? No. I mean
Yeah.
over Chex Mix or whatever.
Yeah. It was.
Over freaking fiddle
And
foul.
then they were eating it in his face. Oh,
Yep.
my
Oh,
blood
Man,
pressure.
it crushed me when he said, "Maybe every once in a while I want to have a dessert, something that really tastes good, tastes really good." You know, and it's just like
Yeah,
so. I
it
got
doesn't taste like
caramel
crap.
corn, and it's like caramel corn. Like that's his
That's the
his
thing.
level for like something that tastes really good. You know, it's not. You know, I was talking to a friend today about how every once in a while I can't afford to do it often, but it's great to just go out to like, you know, a really good steak restaurant and spend like $300,
Oh,
you know, like
yeah.
on a really killer
yeah.
meal with desserts and drinks, and you end up spend like $300. It's like a once a year kind of party, but it's like I was telling him I've never regretted that. Like it's like thing you spend and you don't regret. Like those are just good meals. Can't do it often because you can't afford it, but once in a while. And like the idea that to him the fiddle faddle was that, you know, little
That's the
caramel
special
corn.
treat.
That is heartbreaking and true for so many people.
Yep.
And like so much of what's you know what's hard about this world right now. Like I'm you know I'm encountering in my life these hardships, and I always just think about people that are of a lesser ability to deal with these things. The red tape that like insurance can cause, and like all the stuff that causes these things. It's terrible. It's just absolutely terrible. And so I really appreciate the show for going there. I really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the chat,
Absolutely.
Dr. Kyle Berkeley said, for me being a social worker and having worked with the homeless for almost 20 years, that scene was so real.
Yeah. Thank you, Kyle. Good to hear from you.
I mean, and then not to pivot to something not as important, but he said scroll.
Yeah, he did. He did.
We don't talk about Skrulls.
No, it was the best.
I would blame everything on my scroll counterpart. I'd be like, I didn't show up to work drunk and smack everybody's computers off the desk. That was a scroll. Obviously.
Well,
Oh.
it was so good and meta too, because it's a great joke that like a person up for a crime would try to blame a scroll. That's a great joke already. And then for Matt to just look in the most dismissive way and go, no. Like,
Yeah.
and it felt like, it kind of felt like he was saying that about the show a little bit. Like,
Right?
are we,
Yeah.
you know, we could bring a little secret invasion over here. And he's like, no.
No.
We're not doing that.
We don't talk about Secret Invasion.
But it made me excited to remember. I'm like, oh yeah, nobody forgot. Continuity,
Somebody-
baby.
Somebody mentioned it. Somebody mentioned the happenings of that show. That's all we get. That's all. No, you
With
get
the-
nothing else.
With the exception of the death of Foggy, and probably the death of Hector too, this show has just given us so many things we want. You know what I mean? Like the continuity, of course, between Daredevil and that. But again, mentioning Secret Invasion, we've been begging for it, even though I think all three of us kind of hate that show. It has its
Yeah.
great moments, but it's pretty terrible by the end. And like, I still want them to reference it. It's still a thing I took in because I love Marvel.
Yep.
And they refuse to reward me for it, you know?
Yep. Like, make it worth me having to watch that show.
Exactly.
At least give me some amount of "we're coming for you," yeah, aliens. Like, I want to see that fallout because it's important for that continuity.
Yeah. And it drives me nuts they didn't mention it in Brave New World, because it's obvious the place to mention it would be like what happened to the other president. He got really like he started cracking down on all these people, and he started instituting a police state basically, so it was really easy to beat him in the election or something like that. Like some mention of that would have been really nice.
Yeah, like we had to put him down.
Yeah. I was mentioning it earlier, but I loved the conversation. Real quick, maybe we should pause right here while we're in mid changeover. Yeah, let's do that. All right, we got so many other things to talk about about this episode. So much more to talk about, but we'll be right back after this. Cool.
Insert ad break.
Welcome to the Marvel Cinematic. Welcome back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
We're starting over.
I mean, it's trying to say welcome back. I just said welcome. Welcome
And
back.
we're back.
Fuck you.
And we're back. I thought that was great.
Pick one. You got a lot of takes there, Matt. You can edit some magic together.
I can edit nothing, but I'm leaving it. It's fine. It's fine. I was talking about it before. I didn't catch the ADA's name or whatever, the district attorney's name, but like she was so good, and I loved Matt and her. I loved from the beginning. He's trying to go up there and trying to convince her to do this thing for her. So he walks up and says, "I'm sure you look lovely today," which is such a good blind guy line.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
It's so good.
And as Matt was walking away, did you catch that little glance down? Like she was like,
"Oh, I did not
I want that ass."
I did not.
Yeah, I
but
leaned
have no
over.
doubt.
Oh my god.
I leaned over to the lady. I was like, she wants that ass. And she turns to me. She's like, oh, like times 10. She wants that ass, them calves, those legs. She wants all of it.
You think that all of Matt Murdock's powers are his like pewy jumping around, bouncy stuff? No. It is his effect on women.
Yeah.
And anybody in between.
No, but
It's
this
the
lady,
pheromones.
This lady kind of calls it out too. It's not just pheromones. It's the idea of not to get too graphic here, but the idea of Matt Murdock as a lover, and he can tell everything that's going on inside your body. Matt Murdock's probably a wonderful lover, and she kind of calls it out. Like she talks about the
He's so attentive.
him smelling the banana bread or whatever, or not banana bread, whatever it was. The Latvian breakfast that she had.
The honey cake?
Honey
think
cake.
it was a honey
That was
cake?
it. I don't know why. I guess banana bread.
I'd be like, did you just call me honey cake? Oh, you mean my breakfast. Oh, my bad.
Oh,
My bad.
I misunderstood. You meant, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a
Common
different saying.
mistake.
Yeah, no, I think that moment that she says something like, "I'd like to know a little more about that," like how you have these great senses. Like I don't know, there was something in that was very flirty.
Like,
Yeah, she said, I can imagine wanting to know more about that.
yes, me too, girl.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
have.
then she says, when he's really looking for probation. She says, "Well, I'm looking for Mr. Right. Are you him?" And
Is
then
that
she
you?
says, "Maybe for probation." So good. It was so quippy and fun and like
lawyer jargon.
yeah, lawyer jargon, and Matt Murdock just working overtime with the flirtation and intentional like flirtation, trying to get his client off. I loved it so much.
What was so cool was like, I don't know, 10 minutes before that is when he had that cop up and was up in the cop's face with those allegations. And I'm like, oh my God damn it, Matt Murdock, I love you so much.
Dude, that
'Cause he
scene.
was not the man without fear. And like, it's in every aspect of his life.
Yep.
He was just in that dude's face, like, I don't care what you're saying.
Well,
What
and
are
I
you
think
gonna do?
it was the lie detector. Like, I think he intentionally
Yeah.
went after him
Oh,
to
yeah.
know the truth. Like, if he hadn't pushed him, the guy wouldn't have denied it, and he would have known the truth. And I loved that scene. But the best part of that scene is when he's like, "Yeah, well, some of my more, what does he call them? Some of my more excitable fellow officers might have to find you sometime." And he's like, "Only
Gonna
you
have
have
to
to
bring
bring
more."
a few more than last time we
Oh my
met."
God.
I really wanted him to be like, how's his arm, by the way?
Yeah. Broken in
Mhm.
27 places.
Yeah.
Bleeding through the sleeve still? Is the bone still poking out? Because it was when I left him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
I mentioned you before we started recording. You quoted Hamilton, and I mentioned a line reminded me of Hamilton in this episode, and he says, funny how we keep finding each other. There's that line in Hamilton where he's like, we keep meeting.
We keep meeting.
It's like that. Their lives are heading towards each other. Some sort of, explosion's going to happen eventually between those two.
Crossroads.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's going to be that cop is being tortured by Muse and Matt has to save him? Matt has to decide whether or not that cop is worth saving.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt will save him.
Yeah, Matt
will
him.
save him.
That's
We
the
know
line
that.
character.
Like, Matt will save him. We know that. But, like, he still has to come to terms with it himself and make that decision. Like,
Mhm.
we're going to... I think that's what we're going to have to... What we're going to see from them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's why that cop's important.
Yeah.
Why he keeps coming back.
I don't know. It's interesting. After finding out he didn't have anything to do with Hector, I'm wondering if there's ever going to be, like, that cop might be like a loose thread. We don't even.
Yeah.
I think he'll come back for something, but I don't know why. Maybe he's just going to be coming after Matt Murdock. I don't know.
Well, when he was like, I'm going to call your lawyer bosses, I was like, oh, you don't matter. You're not the problem.
You think
know.
the bar?
He
would
went all
care?
Karen on them. I'm going to call your boss. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to
I'd
call
like to
him
speak
and
to your
tell him-
manager.
You want to call him and tell him a blind guy beat 3 of your guys up? Is that what you want to do?
Is that really what you want? You want all of those people that you listed off who wear this badge to know that me, a blind guy, was who kicked your ass?
Dude, speaking of the blindness, the guy he's trying to talk to get off of that case, made fun of his blindness
Given
so
it
hard.
to him.
Yeah,
So
in a
rude.
way that, like, we see people make sort of blind jokes, and Matt sort of, like, laughs them off or whatever. But, like, Matt was not laughing it off. This guy was being hateful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Matt was being kind of a jerk. He was not being the caring Matt that we know, because he's sidetracked and busy and has other stuff going on, and that's not what you want in your lawyer. You're like, I need you to be attentive to me right
I
now,
need your
and I can
focus.
tell you just want to leave.
Yeah.
And that's I can't remember exactly what Matt said, but he was like, I'll see what I can do about it. And he was like, oh,
Yeah.
you will? You're gonna see about it?
You're going to
I was
see?
like,
That's funny because you can't
damn.
see shit.
damn. But Matt did come in there with this real passive, that wouldn't instill me with a lot of faith in my lawyer if
Yeah.
he came in
Yeah.
the way that Matt did.
It's
Yeah,
tough,
not a lot of
man.
confidence building there.
It's
you got a
tough.
job to do, Matt.
That's the kind of law my fiance is trying to study, and to possibly be a. Right now, she's working at a clinic for. Oh gosh, my brain is broken. But the government provided counsel or whatever. I'm spacing on what it's called. Where a lawyer is appointed to you, the court appointed lawyers.
Defense?
Yeah.
Court-appointed defense?
Court appointed defense lawyers or whatever. Yeah, like she's studying and, like, working in that field right now. And so,
Public
like,
defender?
yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you.
That's it. I
Thank
got
you.
there.
You got there. Yeah, she's working.
We put our brains together, we'll get something.
I am smart. Okay.
That's good. That's
Like,
good.
really smart.
She's working in that field to work towards being public defender. Yeah, it's wild. This whole again bringing this to, like, this show's doing a really good job of hitting on real themes and the real world. But, like, that idea that the number of cases that are pleaded out, like this guy's refusing to do. He's like, I don't want to plead out of this. I'd rather fight it because, like, pleading is still, guilty, and I'm still going to have to do this stuff. I may miss my benefits or whatever. It's just a lot of cases are done that way. And this guy sounds like he was probably guilty, but, like, a lot of cases are done where they get people to plead out that are later found out to be not guilty, but they plead out because, well, you could risk it and try to get and you might get 30 years, or you could plead out and get 1 year. And it's like,
Yeah.
the disparity is really, really bad.
Especially when you're like, it was a box of Cracker Jacks or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, like, $15 probably total. And there's just something really sad. It's just really, I mean, it's just really, I say there's something really sad. It's just really sad to see someone just, starving and stealing for food, and then, ending up this way.
Yep. And it's and the shit thing is that, like, because he lost his benefits and the system to get the food stamps back is so broken and
Oh, I know.
time consuming and awful. Like, in that time span, he's still got to eat, while
Right.
while he's fighting to get food stamps, he's still got to eat something unless he's, just going to die. And, and it's like they make this broken system to put people into poverty. And then when people fight back against it, they punish them.
Yes.
It's just
100%. That's and
It's not
they
rigged in our favor.
no.
Yeah.
It is very much rigged against people, especially in those situations. So we got a meeting of Hector's niece. I don't know if this is comic
Angela!
spoilers.
Angela Del Toro.
Comic spoilers, everybody. I guess if you don't want to know, but
Yeah, spoilers.
this is
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1 comic spoiler. In the comics, she is White Tiger, right?
At some point, yes.
A version of White Tiger, and
Yeah,
we saw
she inherits the mantle from Hector.
right, and we saw the amulet being stored in the little bag, and I'm assuming she'll end up with that at some point in this season, and we'll see Angela as White Tiger. That's gonna be fun.
She looked young. Was she like 14? I can't tell the age
I don't know.
of people that.
It made me
She's
wonder.
A child.
It made me
She's a
wonder.
Child.
It made me wonder if she'd be a young Avenger, one that we wouldn't have expected up till
fun.
now, but she
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
So she was the only one
there-
spitting truth and dropping F-bombs. I was really enjoying it.
Yeah, right. There was a span in comics where Matt felt responsible for her and like taught her the ropes of being a
Oh, yeah?
superhero.
Oh, I could
so,
see
like-
that.
Teach me, Daredevil.
I could see.
Yeah,
that being
teach
really-
me Daredevil, Daddy.
Yeah, I left that out. I wasn't trying to. Yeah, exactly.
No, I could totally see them doing that on the show, and it would be a really different gear for Matt Murdock that we haven't seen, and
Father
could draw
figure.
him back into the life of being a vigilante that we all know he's going to get drawn back in somehow. But
He went into his closet tonight and touched all of his helmets that he still
Yep.
had. It's
Yep.
coming back.
yep.
Well,
He
he
was
did
like,
the-
"There's you and you and you."
Yeah,
and
I
you.
got the yellow one, and
Yeah.
I think this is the red one, and I think this
Uh-oh.
is the black one,
I
and
think.
Same hero, new boots.
I got my staff. And then he started doing the rope dart training.
Yeah.
Love a good rope
Let's
dart
go.
scene.
Wasn't that what it was very similar to what Nobu used on him in season 1,
Similar, yeah.
except that one was a lot more deadly probably.
Oh, is that the one that sliced him off? That scene is
Yeah.
so rough.
I
to
think
watch.
See,
I
that's
think
the
Nobu had
whole-
the
Stop
sickle and
cutting
chain.
him up.
That whole run of episodes is tough. He gets so cut up, and then he's so injured for episodes and episodes, just like big bloody spots all over his clothes and stuff. It's terrible.
And when he was in the bed before, he went up to his rooftop man cave, you could see like big scars across his chest, like, one side to the other, like he got, damn near cut in half,
How
basically.
does he explain that to girlfriend? Also, we have to talk about this.
He's blind. He runs into
listen,
stuff.
Yeah, he runs
Don't we
into
think
stuff.
he's moving a little bit too fast with new girlfriend? And also, I think him getting involved with someone so soon is not great. These selfish ass superheroes knowing that they're just putting these people in danger.
What do you
It's not
mean?
even been a year.
It's been a
A
year
year since what?
though. It has been
It's
a year.
been like since your last girlfriend got killed, your other girlfriend almost got killed, the other girlfriend that you saw probably got killed, and then that other girlfriend probably got
Wait,
killed.
who are you
your best
talking
friend got
about?
killed.
Who got
talking
killed?
about Matt Murdock
Who
having
got killed?
girlfriends. I'm talking Elektra.
Well, yeah, but that was like 8 years ago.
Spoilers ago. Spoilers.
Yeah.
It's in this show. It's fine. That was like
Karen almost got killed how many times and they were
right
dating?
again 8 years ago. Karen almost got killed a year ago, and Foggy did get killed. So, like, yeah, a year ago this big thing happened, and now he's just starting to date again. I think is the idea.
Right. I'm just saying, it's when you're involved with all this stuff, you're threatening Fisk again. You're getting involved with the cops. You know what you're doing. You're gonna put your suit back on.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because that's the duality of this scene. Is
Yeah.
Matt threatened Fisk, if you go off the beaten path, like I'm gonna come for you, and Murdoch and Fisk threatened Matt that if you put on the suit again, I'm gonna come after you. And in this scene, it was the reveal that they're both getting back to their old tricks.
The stalemate.
I love it.
Yeah,
Ah.
Love that.
I'm excited.
But then he's at this point, he's got like he just started dating this girl, and she's already like staying over at his house, and she's like, when I stay at my place, I don't worry about you, but when I sleep over here and you come home late, I'm like, what if he fell onto the subway tracks or
Mhm.
got kidnapped or he's like,
Well, honey,
kidnapped?
that's about to happen to you. You're gonna get kidnapped and thrown on the subway tracks because you're dating Matt Murdock. Like,
Or because
these poor
he's-
innocent people who have no idea what's coming.
or because he knows too
Ooh.
much about Fisk and Vanessa. Like, you know, that's the other. She's playing with fire there. She doesn't even realize it yet.
Yeah.
She's starting
Oh,
to
God.
realize it because of she asked that question to Vanessa. I think she's starting to see like he's a violent guy. They're kind of admitting there's some violence in his past. Yeah, I think that's that could be the thing that actually gets her in trouble.
She's his unicorn. He's like, she's like, I'm different now. And he's like, yes, you're so much better. And I was like, no man has ever said that when someone's been like, I'm different now. I've changed. It's always, I don't know. It's so much better. I was like, damn, that's one hell of a line there, Wilson.
Yeah.
Wilson Fisk.
There's so many good
Damn.
lines in this
Okay.
episode. So many great comebacks. I loved when the campaign lady says we need to start smaller, and then the Daniel, I think y'all said his name was.
That could be our next
says,
campaign slogan.
That could be our next campaign slogan. Yeah,
Yep.
that
The
was really good.
infrastructure stuff. She's like, you can't just speak that into existence. He's like, but I'm so good at doing that, and it's all I've ever done.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
do
what
you
I
mean?
do.
have to
That's
file
all
a
I know.
permit with the state.
Yeah,
No.
What should we do? What's the first step?
well the
I
thing is,
speak and it happens.
well this is the thing. I kind of hate that scene a little bit because he was a real estate developer.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, but he never did things on the books.
yeah, he did. He was working with like all these
Did
different
so.
people. Like we know when he worked with Hawkeye's Kate's mom, like they were building these like
corrupt, though.
skyscrapers and stuff. Well, they were all corrupt, but they knew how to work the system. They knew how to like get permits and stuff. So when he's
He's
like,
not that kind of man anymore, Matthew.
right, the saving grace of it is the fact that like he's never done a big project where they try to revitalize a whole part of the city. Maybe like that's maybe the headcanon I can go with there. But when she's like talking to him about how to get a building built or like how to get a construction project started, I was like, that's his whole thing. Like that's every
Yeah.
season he's been building construction projects.
Okay.
Oh yeah, TV and movie guy said in the chat to do it with public money is completely different.
True. That is very true.
Oh,
And-
because he's the mayor now.
Right.
Yeah, because
Well-
he's the mayor and it's a public
So
project.
he's trying to use my money to build that park. I'm not going to that park.
Yeah, I didn't
No.
vote for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that is very true. It's the political side versus but I just think that like he probably knew the political side. Also, a lot of what he did in season 1 was rebuilding after Avengers 1, after the what do they call it? The event? No, it's
The incident.
the incident. That's it.
The
In
incident.
season 1 of Daredevil, like they keep calling it the incident, and like so something happened. The whole city has been damaged, and like we know that was Fisk's. So like it seems like there would probably be some public and private money circling around like a big event like that. So I just thought it was a little weird. Like maybe they could have acknowledged it. Like Fisk, I know you've built a lot of buildings, but you've never dealt with the political side of a big project like this, or something like that. You know, it just
I always had Wesley for those details.
yeah, that's true.
Ugh, new Wesley just saying the same thing that Vanessa said last episode, but Fisk listened to him and not Vanessa. Get out of my face, new Wesley.
Well, no, he also, but that's Vanessa. I think that's Vanessa whispering in Fisk's ear because in that last episode, Vanessa is the one who sent that new Wesley, as you call him, to the docks to talk to the criminals or whatever. So like
Yeah.
he's working for her as much as he's working for Fisk, and so I don't know. That's
It's like I don't work for the mayor. I work for the man.
And I wonder if
It's
by
not
the
political,
man,
it's business.
I wonder if by the man she means Vanessa. He means Vanessa. All right.
Maybe.
I loved like she wears the pants now. You know, she's the real
Oh, yeah.
crime boss now.
He's busy. My favorite scene with him is when he walks into the place. He's like, "Where am I? Somebody tell me
Yeah,
where I am
so-
because I'm too busy with all this other drama going on in my head to
thought
like
it
physically
was-
know where I am at any point in time."
I thought it was hilarious that as he's going up the stairs, he's like, "Why do I care about Latvian heritage?" It's like, whoa,
Yep.
dude! Like they
I'm
can
not in the
hear you.
mood.
That voice.
I don't want to
carries.
be here. Yeah. Wilson.
Yeah.
Shush.
When I was a boy, I never cared about Latvian heritage. Did we mention that he said when I was a boy yet? I think we may have mentioned it before we started the cast.
Yeah.
He said when
Maybe.
I was a boy, and that was very exciting.
And I laughed a
Like when-
lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I can't laugh. Serious time.
Yeah, it's serious
Serious
moment.
face moment.
But he said the thing. He said the thing.
He said the thing.
I thought it was really funny when Vanessa started talking about her childhood. There was just a real
daddy issues all around.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it cracked me up though because it felt a little bit like almost like mocking one of Fisk's like conversations about his past, and like the music swells, it's very dramatic music, and she's like, "When I was a child, my father," and it like almost felt too similar to what Fisk always does when he's telling his little
Yeah.
soliloquies.
Well, they're little soulmates.
Yeah. They're meant for each other.
It made me
They
laugh.
can just
Even whether
tell
she
tales
wants
to
or
each
not.
other.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I really hope we get a lot more Frank this season. Like
That couldn't have been it.
that's surely not. Surely not.
No.
I mean, like, there's nothing he's needed for. Again, like they're opening a lot of threads this season, and I don't know which ones they're going to come back to. But I'm really hoping Frank is one of them. Frank's like way of speaking is so wonderful. I loved the bullshit fanboys talking about the guys. That was so good. And one of my favorite lines was, "You're so full of shit, counselor."
Oh man, I love how real it feels that Frank is. Like he's, I don't know, Bernthal just puts that like down home,
Mm-hmm.
homegrown.
There's like a stamp of authenticity with him.
Yeah, there's such a ridiculous amount of authenticity just like baked into that performance.
Yeah.
And
Like
like
him as a human being. When I hear him in interviews, it just
as a person.
that's who he is. And so this like the he comes by it honest. It does not feel like an actor playing this part. It feels like a lot of himself is being put into the show.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like it seems like he's Frank is an embodiment of a particular political group of people potentially, but when Matt was like, "Oh, I didn't know that in all this you were the victim here, Frank," and he's like, "I didn't use that pussy ass word.
I never use that
Don't you
word.
put that in my mouth."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like, "Oh, Frank, you
Well,
can't
he's
talk like that."
Everybody was crossing lines in that conversation.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were.
right.
They were. And that is, I mean, I really do think that's the emotional core of this episode, is that it's just pushing Daredevil forward. Robert Moore says, I'm just checking our mentions here, and see if anybody has. Robert Moore says someone behind the show is a Stranded Panda fan.
Has to be,
I don't know,
because we're getting everything we want.
yeah.
We have said for years that Feige is listening.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
that's like a joke. Like,
Yeah, well, I'm wondering what he's saying. I assume he's talking about something specific, but he doesn't say. So, Robert, tell us what you mean. Let's see. Sorry.
I think it's probably that Feige and team use like an AI overview to like gather the thoughts from our show and other
No, yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
after
for
shows.
sure. I do think that, like, I don't think it's necessarily our show they're listening to, but I do think there are definitely Marvel people listen to the fan shows to know what we're all talking about and like
yeah,
what we
Yeah.
for
like
sure.
and what we don't, for sure. I don't know if
Call
our
it
show's
Pulse Bot.
on that list. Yeah, they're watching the Pulse. Josh says, I don't trust Matt's new girlfriend.
That's a good
Why
call,
not?
to be honest. That would be a fun twist.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I do trust her, but I don't know. Yeah, it could, like,
I
especially
don't know
Gotcha.
anything about her, actually.
yeah. But we have we kind of are seeing both sides of her
It's
double life.
a little fast.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I already said that. move a little fast.
We're already seeing kind of her double life with like seeing what she's doing with Fisk and Vanessa, and so like to me the secret is already on the table. I don't know why they would do a second secret. It feels like a hat on a hat. But I do think it's going to be a big deal when I think it's very possible Fisk could just like murder her because he's too honest in a session, and then Matt has to go after Fisk for that. You know?
Yeah, I could see that happening. I could see. Ooh. No, here it is. Here's the good plot.
All right, give us.
She gets kidnapped by Muse, and Wilson and Matt are both searching for her. I have to find my doctor. She's the only one who understands me.
Oh, yeah.
And Matt's looking for his girlfriend, and then they have to work together to save her from this really bad guy.
Yeah.
I don't see that relationship with the doctor, but sure, yeah, with Fisk. No, Fisk's like, I'll put her 6 feet underground. She already knows too much. Like, that's what I'm always saying is, well, think about with Echo, all of Echo's translators he killed. So I just don't feel like he would. I was worried about her because I was like, but he doesn't deal well with people knowing his deepest, darkest secrets.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sure, all of the interpreters were brutally murdered, but she used her Healy fingers on him, and so now he's a better person.
It doesn't mean anything. We already know that. Yeah, sure. Above ground.
Yeah.
On the surface is what I meant to say.
At surface level. I'm gonna have to go underground to save her. You're not gonna like me when I come back, Vanessa.
All right. Well, I guess that's the show. We'll be back later this week to do another episode and talk more about what's happening on Daredevil Born Again. It's been such a great show. So much fun stuff to talk about, and like goodness. Oh yeah, I gotta write a song, and like
it's gonna be heavy.
It's gonna be another heavy one, man. Like I don't know. I guess I should have known that getting into a songwriting project about this show, but man, it's gonna be heavy for sure.
You mean to tell me a show that focuses on Catholic guilt is heavy?
You do a view from the people. I love that the New York City people's testimonials just remind me of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, because they always would go in and out like, Spider-Man, he's the worst. And just the people talking, and I love that they're doing that in this.
Yeah, I do too.
Superheroes in New York? Come on.
Get out of here.
So good. All right. Well, we'll be back soon, guys. If you haven't yet, give us there's rules on the website. We're giving away a PS5 for you guys to go review us or rate us. Review us on Apple or rate us on Spotify. You got to take a screenshot and send it to strandedpandacontest@gmail.com. That's the whole rules. I think we're going to end it probably close to the first week of April or so. So you got like 2 more weeks. Get us a review. Get us a rating on Spotify or Apple, and if you send us the screenshot, we'll get you in the contest. And we're gonna pick someone at random and give them a PS5 and two Marvel video games. So
that is strandedpandacontest@gmail.com.
Yes,
for everybody in the back.
Not.
Keep sending it to the MCU cast.
Don't do that, because then it might not make it to the right place, and then you're not entered into the contest.
You're lucky I'm there to pick up your trash. Let's just put it that way.
There are rules.
You're lucky I like you, otherwise I'd hit delete.
Forwarding them all over.
There are rules and links to all the shows. It's all the Stranded Panda shows. I keep forgetting to say that, but most of the Stranded Panda shows, including Bill and I's Chair Theater. But
the more you vote, the more chances you get.
Yeah, you get more chances.
It's not a vote. I'm sorry. I'm tired. It's 11:10.
So it's
PS 5-star review.
Yeah. So all the rules and the links to all of the shows on Spotify and Apple are at strandedpanda.com/PS5. So that's the easy way to do it. So all right. Just wanted to mention that before we get out of here, and we're going to talk to you guys soon. Peace.
Until next time, true believers.
Bye.
Sweet. All right. Hitting stop on Zencaster. Hopefully that'll upload quick. Well, thanks, guys, for hanging out on YouTube. A lot of y'all hanging out. Appreciate y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Waterfall Angels said make it a rap battle between Frank and Matt.
I thought about something like that. I don't know how I'd. I guess I could do voices, but that would be weird. Yeah, it's such an intense conversation. I do think that's got to be what that conversation's got to be what the song's about, but I don't know how to turn that into a song. It's real intense. Real intense. David Brewer, Ash says, loved the Leprechaun Ash episode.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. We really were like, I was like, Monday is St. Patrick's Day and we have to do it because we always drop on Monday, and I was very excited to get to do it. Bill had never seen it.
Oh,
so
wow.
I got to take him on this journey.
What?
Yeah.
It's
right, of all the people. I was like, get the hell out of here. Watch that goddamn movie.
That's one of
You
those
have
I
3
saw.
weeks.
That's one of those I saw when I was way too young. Like way
too young. But it does straddle this weird line of 80s kid like movies like Dark Crystal and stuff like that, and
It
then
does.
R for 1994.
Yeah, it really does. And it's like I was way too young, and I remember a lot of it. I'm scarred.
Awesome.
I dream about it every night and wake up screaming.
All right, YouTube, thank you for hanging out. We appreciate y'all, and we'll be back later. Peace.